We are live.
We're live.
Hi. Good
Hi.
morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
back to the Golden Rule. My name is Meg Levu.
My name is Tony Chang.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a great day. How are you doing? You came in a little bit.
It was a great day.
It was a great day.
Until I went to freaking Coffee Bean to try out their damn cold brew because I'm into that shit now. Holy crap! I feel like I got mind.
I'm so happy you're into coffee.
Throat fucked and mind fucked, like straight up. Like, you know how someone wakes you up really, really quick?
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now. Or I felt until I started drinking this.
And you don't like it.
Hell
You don't
no.
like it at all.
No.
I know. Yeah. I know you
Fuck
feel.
that shit.
So tell me about this new coffee love. How'd that happen?
I think I heard like Kevin told me at the gym.
Yeah.
Because I was like looking for a good pick me up in the morning.
Pre-workout.
You know? Yeah, pre-workout. So I tried it with protein, right? But then after my workout, I felt like shit. I was like sleepy and all that stuff. I had to take a nap. You know,
I feel like that too.
Right?
Tell me about it. Tell me. So you always felt like that, sleepy, after you work out?
After I work out with Kevin. Motherfucker works me out. But yeah, I was doing that with the protein. Finished it.
Yeah.
And then I think I got another reminder. Hey, just try coffee. Right. So I was like, okay. And I hated coffee. Like
Coffee with cream and sugar?
Like just coffee in general.
In general.
Right. Because of if it tastes good, that's cool. But later I feel like shit and I come down. And I tried just dark so that is more good for my weight and stuff. But it tastes like so bitter, so bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
But recently I tried the cold brew. I started it with the Califia almond milk one. That was pretty cool. So I went to the gym. After the gym, I felt pretty good.
With almond milk, you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, not bad. I feel good. And then I upgraded to Trader Joe's, the cold brew, like concentrate.
I've seen that one, yeah. In a bottle, right?
Yeah.
You just add water?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I did, you know? And like, ever since that one, it was like, whoa, like I feel good during the gym and after the gym. No nap, no sleepiness, nothing. My wife attested to that too. But then I was like, okay, well, let's try some more.
Yeah.
Right? I want to try some out. Freaking. So that's why I tried Coffee Bean today. Well, Cindy was like, oh, I'll take you to Coffee Bean. And I was like, cool, let's get a cold brew. Yo, Meg. Shit was bad. I just took like a sip and I was like, oh god, so bitter.
Yeah.
So freaking bitter. And then like the aftertaste is horrible. I still felt the bitterness, and I'm like, the fudge, man, you know. And then I started to feel headache, like here, and then here. I'm like, oh my god.
Really? And you only had a couple sips. That's so crazy.
That's all I want. I ain't going back. I don't want it.
Yeah.
You taught me a lot about cold brew.
Yeah. Or coffee.
Coffee.
How do you feel right now? Do you feel better?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I have to force myself.
This newfound coffee is interesting.
Oh, gosh.
You guys actually gave me the gift of coffee a couple days ago. It's going to be on my channel in a little bit, but it was so cool to film it and to go through it and like renew my passion for coffee too, because I get to, like, you guys been asking me questions. I get to teach a little bit about it. Not teach, but just like share what I know. And so yeah, I'm excited for you guys to get also excited about coffee too. And next steps for you after you like try all the different coffees. Like right now it's just like that, right? So there's the super dark ones, then there's going to be the light ones, and then there's going to be espresso. So I can't wait. I can't wait till you guys get started. Okay, so that was our coffee talk. What's up with you? What happened over the weekend? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. So my parents came over. On Sunday morning, my dad just kind of sat next to me while I was like sleeping. And I was like, okay, I think he wants to talk. Right?
Oh.
And I was like, all right, let's talk. And so, as you all know, my parents are supporting me for the next 3 years. But every year, it's going to drop. My dependence or my support from my parents is going to drop. So, with that being said, I know it's pretty heavy on my parents. So Cindy and I came up with a plan like, hey, you know what? Why wait 3 years to drop it, right? We can just come up with a plan like, either sell the house or rent it out, or we can move back in with her parents. Just for like, 3 years at most. And then also like sell our car, freaking get a used one, 3 years temporary, right? Eat shit for like 3 years. That's it. Thanks, Gary V.
Gary V.
And then, yeah. So I was like, I'm totally open to that plan because I'm not chained. I'm not a slave to my parents' money anymore in terms of like, oh, I can't make money on my own.
This
like,
is before your dad talked to you?
This is before my dad talked
So
to me.
you've been thinking about this?
I thought about it and then I was like, cool, let it go. If it happens, it happens, So I let him know, and he started to talk about like, oh, why do you always want to have a cheap mentality or cheap life? And I'm like, okay, it's not. I don't have a cheap mentality. I have faith, and I know that with the way things are going with our business, Super Jewelry Co., it's gonna happen. I have faith in it.
Why did he think it was cheap though? Can I ask? Because you wanted to rent a car, rent out your house, like let go of the luxuries.
He sees me like that, like, oh, why do you always have to downgrade? So I was like, well, because I want to help you out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not tied to these materialistic possessions. Like, these aren't my life, So I could do away with these temporarily, and then just make it on my own again later,
Interesting. How'd Cindy feel about that?
Yeah, Cindy was cool about it too. We're eating pho one day or one night. She's like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet.
That was easy.
Yeah. And so, yeah, my dad went on his rant.
Yeah.
And then he got to talking about, oh, like, if I was you, I would do whatever you're doing and also help out my parents and stuff like that. And I was like, great. But in my mind, I was like, you're not me. You don't know why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, which is freedom. And also, I don't want to. It's like a difference between I can, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Right.
So, and then it's cool because my relationship with my parents is very business. If I go to them, I usually like 99% of the time talk about business related stuff. And same with them. So it was interesting to finally say to my dad, like, hey, why is it that our business is always about business? I mean, relationship is about business. Why can't we talk about personal things?
Yeah.
And I brought to his attention how in the past, how often do we really hang out and talk about personal things? And he couldn't really say much. And he just said like, oh, don't focus on the past. And I'm like, okay, well, let's focus on now and the future. It's like, anyway, my relationship now with my dad, I need to start it. I need to be the one to ask him personal questions instead of business stuff.
Yeah.
And I believe he's gonna open up, and so it's cool.
How did that conversation end? So you were being assertive, but in a respectful manner. And what was his response to that?
He was kind of like, what? Like
surprised.
He was surprised.
Cool.
This is dope.
Now I remember that feeling with my parents too, when I finally I had forgiven them in the way that I needed to for myself, and had to assert what I wanted to do. This was when I was leaving my my corporate job for Riverside County, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. And you just plainly, calmly explain to them, and then you just keep coming with that tone. Before, it used to be like, you're attacking me for not wanting to chase my dream and wanting to feel like you don't understand, you know what I mean? And then now it's just like, no, actually it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. And you just calmly tell them, and they're like, oh, I have nothing to bite on or poke at or find in your the way that you think, like, oh, I can get that. Where you feel uneasy or insecure. Because if you are insecure about your where you're going, people can subconsciously feel it, and then they can kind of latch onto that with their own prejudgment or their own fear and impose upon you. And that's how they get into your head a little bit, which is not bad. Sometimes it's valid, right? Like if they bring up something that they sense in you that you didn't sense yet, like your own insecurity, but the way that you talk about it or how you talk about it or your body position and stuff like that. And and they can kind of signal to you unintentionally to also pay attention to your own, oh, I haven't yet addressed that fear. I haven't yet addressed that insecurity that I have about me. So, yeah, I remember that feeling. That was pretty cool because you're like, I'm chill. I'm over here. Yeah. I know that you feel that way, or you may have these fears about me doing this, and that's okay because I'll show you.
Yeah, I'll just show you.
I'll just show you. And that's something that's been super helpful in a lot of stuff. And this is something that I discovered over the weekend of self-love and self-care, where I basically said no to you guys coming over, which was because like I was like, wait, I want to do something for me, and I want to like share and capture it on video and do my thing and vlog and stuff like that. And
you made how many?
And I made like 5. I made like 5 videos, and then they were all high quality for me, all high quality vlogs and everything. And like I was just feeling it. I was in the vibe. I was in my zone, vlogging and stuff like that. And that's part of like my self-care routine, to vlog and be therapeutic and reflect about what's been going on with us. And I'm not done yet. So today, later on, if I get time, because this is my editing day, to make a new vlog about why we're starting Super and all the stuff that's been going on over there. Like the beginning to now, man, like, whoa, there's so much I haven't shared and documented. And I remember talking about this in the video where I closed Bells, and I was like, wow, now I'm full. Now I have the ability to give, where before, when I wasn't vlogging, I wasn't full yet, and I felt like I had to protect these feelings and these thoughts because I wasn't sure how I felt about them, maybe. But now
you're looking all good. You're like smiling. I can feel that glow from you.
Yeah. When you guys came down, and like I figured out how to use my shout out to Indigo Cosmetics, my friends over there, because like they I bought a what do you call this, an eyeshadow palette. Wow, there's like 20 freaking colors. I was like, I want to use it, but I don't know how, and I've been kind of intimidated by it, and I've been like, I don't know, being like a little bit afraid of it, which is silly. But I'm sure like when women go and like they want to try something new, but they don't know how to do it confidently, so they can buy it, but it'll just sit there, and it's been sitting there forever. And like that day, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna play with it and be fun and experimental, and then just see what happens.
Well, what goes through your mind when you don't want to use it?
I just don't want to.
What do you tell yourself though?
When I don't want to use makeup?
Like intimidated.
Oh, because I don't want to. Oh, like what goes through my mind is like, what if it looks weird? Or if I don't look like me? Like if I don't look like me, or if I don't feel comfortable, then I'm like, ooh. I mean, you kind of want to not look like you, like your typical you. That's the whole point of makeup, right? But in a way that is like nicer. Not like a clown. Caked on. So that was kind of my fear. Like, wow, there's so many colors. Like, how do I even blend it? But then I started to do some research and stop being like in my head about it, and just be like, what's the theory? Because if I learn the theory, then I can use all these different colors. It's like photography, or it's like anything. I just want to learn the basic theory. And then I just quickly looked it up on YouTube. It was so easy because there's a million tutorials out there. I just had to find somebody that I like. And then they're like, oh, you did this. I was like, oh, okay, I can work with that. So now I just work off that theory, and I don't pressure myself so much like, oh, how do I use this color, and what brush do I use, and blah, 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 like stupid stuff. But now it's just like, okay, cool. You got your theory. You learned a little bit. Now it's yours. Just play. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that weekend, self-care, self-love. Yes. And you guys felt it. Like I was so brimming with just me, I guess. And you guys gave me a wonderful gift. That was awesome. So that just like put me on top of my little mountain. And then just making videos like crazy, playing games, working too at the same time, trying to figure out how to shoot some product. And like just going.
Turned out good.
Thank you. Yeah. And I just like going back and forth, trying to make your vision come true, which I didn't really do. You know
Oh,
your concept
don't
videos.
even. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't even
I
worry
know how
about
to
that.
make it happen, but I don't have the equipment anyway.
No
But
worries. I have faith in you.
I was just feeling it. I was like, I'm so grateful to be in this home where we have this beautiful table to work on, this beautiful light coming through. Like, it was awesome. And then Kevin was gone, so I could just really be like in my own little self love bubble. It was awesome. Cook, all that stuff.
You did a bunch of
I did a
stuff.
bunch of stuff. I cleaned like that morning. Like, I cleaned the whole backyard. But then because I had my brace and I wasn't in any pain, I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling it.
Wow.
I'm feeling it. Like the things that I want to be doing
That's
as the woman I want to be. So, and again, always, like I say, my affirmations while I'm mopping or
amazing.
making
Yeah.
coffee, simple stuff. I have it on my phone now to remind me. Like every time I open my phone, it's there. And I do feel I'm getting better and better and better. And like with Kevin,
Mm.
it's becoming less of a thing in my mind where I'm like, what's going on with your relationship with Kevin?
Wait,
Like before, for example, before we started this show, for one, I wasn't happy in my marriage, and I would think, how am I going to improve my marriage?
Mhm. Yeah.
And kind of looking outward. But then after that talk we had right here,
Mm.
talking about filling your own cup,
Mm-mm.
like that's been, I think, very powerful, and I think I'm seeing the some of the start of the effects of that feeling and that perspective on my own life, where filling your own cup and less concerned about what other people are thinking and feeling about me.
Yeah.
Like, just do me,
Yeah.
and the rest will follow. The rest will really follow. And before, for sure, I said that to myself.
Mm.
And like, you've been doing affirmations for 2 years, you said. I've been doing them for a lot longer in different
Yeah.
forms. I think yours is the most effective one. And I would think, like, I would say these words like, just do you and be present. And like, it wasn't clicking yet
Mm.
until, for whatever reason, I'm now able to, I think, better understand what that concept means. And now I'm less concerned about, maybe it's because we did so much work too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We did so much work on our marriage, and now I can trust, like, you're gonna do you, just like with you and Cindy. Like, I'm not responsible for her change or her growth. I just need to do me. And that just really like pierced me. Like, I just need to be me and do what I want to do
Yeah.
for me, and the rest will follow. And like,
Yeah.
it was powerful. And then every day,
Right.
that concept is like penetrating deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, there's so many layers that I didn't know that I had about this feeling of filling my own cup.
And
And the words really ring for me too. You can use any words you want for that analogy, and letting it reverberate through all the actions that I do. It's weird. And like, the more that I feel more full, I even see it in how I physically look and feel and dress,
yeah,
crazily enough.
that energy comes out.
Like what I choose to pick up and wear is like influenced by my feeling of fullness.
Yeah.
And that's pretty interesting too. And I was like trying to just like sit there with my thoughts like, like I feel more comfortable and not so concerned about my hair being down. Whereas before it was a little bit more conscious, like when I put my hair down now, it's like, oh, I'm in girl mode. Or like it wouldn't just be like, I want to put my hair down for me. It was more like, let me put my hair down so I can look prettier. That's how I would think about it before. Now it's just like, if it's up, it's down, I'm me. Like no weird conscious thing, just letting it all naturally come through. I thought that was pretty interesting. I think those thoughts and those like actions from me, I'm gonna just be more conscious, like trying to figure that out too. I'm just paying attention, like, this is interesting. I haven't really figured it out yet.
It's okay. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing to figure out in a way. It's just you're just exploring yourself.
Exploring, yeah. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's a nice feeling.
And like, come on, Meg. Like, who else is gonna fill up your cup the way you will?
No
No
one.
one,
No one, yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That goes for you. Like, nobody is gonna fill up your cup but you.
Yes.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Like straight up.
Yeah.
You know? And as you keep waiting for, let's say, Kevin, or I was waiting for Cindy to fill me up or
Ah,
something, right?
waiting, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna wait forever. Cause like you're gonna give this energy of and attracting that too.
Yes.
He's not gonna get what he wants.
Yeah.
She won't get what she wants.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna be the ones to give it either.
Yeah.
Like
So everybody's
waiting.
yeah.
But it's like you're constantly going backwards and you're constantly getting more resentful,
Yeah.
more bitter.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
you're just blowing up and you think you fixed it because it's kind of like not so blown up, but you haven't fixed it. We
Yeah.
haven't fixed it.
Yeah. Amazing. This waiting game that I used to play, this passive perspective that I used to have on life is now
Passive.
yeah.
Fuck being passive.
Yeah, man. Like sometimes I catch myself like feeling like that, and then I'm getting a lot quicker and faster in terms of my like signaling to myself that I need to pay attention and go like, oh, that's a old behavior that I used to do, or habitual old behavior that was rooted in my past self, and then I just try to change it really quick.
Oh my god.
And everything that I'm like. And it's so, it can be kind of like mentally exhausting. Like, how are you?
It's work.
It's work. Yeah. To consciously, I just talked about this too in a video. I was like, you consciously have to choose to like be mindful of how you speak, what's coming out of your mouth, how you're receiving it, and your response. And it's right now it seems really hard sometimes because like it's new to be always conscious. Like, what am I saying? How did I take that? How did I respond? And then sometimes it happens so quickly, you're like, oh, I don't feel too like 100% great about how I just responded. And then I just make a mental note of it and like try to maybe say something to like counter. Like we have our code word now. We haven't used it yet.
That's good, right?
Which is great.
Yeah.
Because it's like I think we're both being conscious for the most part. And, but yeah, sometimes I say something really quick and I'm like, oh, and then I just make a mental note for it next time, like to remember. But it feels like a lot of little tiny things throughout the day, and especially because we're around each other all day. So there's more opportunities to be challenged and to rise. So, but it's great because that means you get better faster. It's just like you want to train a lot or a little bit. So we're training a lot.
Like a little bit at a time.
Yeah, a little bit at a time, but a lot.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's dope. You know what's interesting? You said passive, right?
Yeah.
And immediately I just forgot about this, but this past weekend, I went to IKEA with Cindy and her parents and our friend, right? Yo, Meg, it hit me. For 10 years, I was just being a very passive person, like with her parents, because I didn't want to step on any toes, rock any boats, And I was like, one of the things that I blew up this past weekend, right?
You did? Okay.
Because I was like, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to go. I don't want to be with your parents. Like, I just want to stay home. And then I was like, what the fudge, right? Like, I thought it was because I was tired. Yeah. But I drank some coffee and then I was fine. So I knew it wasn't because I was tired. And I dug deeper. Why am I so pissed? And then I realized it's because a lot of times, not just yet this past weekend, but a lot of times Cindy and her mom would talk and come up with decisions. And just I'm there to just go, being passive about it. I didn't even speak up if I really wanted to go. I just agreed because I didn't want them to think so, oh, why doesn't he want to come? You know what I mean? Like, why? Does he hate us? Does he? Blah, blah, blah. And then I realized those are all inside my own head, right? And so I went, and then I was like, I was pissed. I went there with the freaking rain cloud, right? And then I sat down. I was like, Ma, Pa, right? I'm mad. I told him, I'm mad. Like, I'm mad. Shit.
In IKEA?
In IKEA. Like, we were eating, and I was like, I ate a couple meatballs, and I was like, okay, I gotta fucking talk. I was like, Ma, Pa, I'm mad. Right? And then I said, like, look, like, I can't remember everything I said, but the gist is, I'm done being passive. If I have something to say, I want to feel safe to say it, and I want you to feel safe to say it to me. Like, and I also told them how I realized that I'm not in this decision making process. Like, I felt resentment towards my mother-in-law because I felt that she was using Cindy to control me. You feel me? Like, if her mom wants to go to the market or someplace, she would talk Taiwanese or Mandarin to Cindy, and all of a sudden, we just, like, Cindy would be like, oh, we're going to go here. I'm like, huh? Like, okay. But I know. I pick it up, you know? So I was like, you know what? Sick and tired of this shit. Like, I need to communicate.
Yes.
Like, I have a right. I'm her husband, yo. Like, yeah, I get it. Cindy's your daughter. But I'm her husband. She's my wife first, you know? So I told her, I was like, Ma, in the future, starting from today, like, let's communicate, you know? Like if you want to do something or whatever as a family, put me in a group chat, like group text, or just let me know. And I told Cindy too, like, hey, in the future, if that doesn't happen, before you make a decision with your mom, with your dad, with your family, just tell them, let me check in with my husband first. And then Cindy was like, okay. And then she caught on to that. So the whole point of this is, I'm done being a passive dude. I'm done being a passive boy, just doing whatever, you know, Cindy's parents wants us to do. Like, done.
Awesome.
And I stood up to that.
Yeah.
And I said to her, Cindy's number one in my life.
Yeah.
And Sophie is number two. It's true. As a husband, they're my responsibility. Like, as a husband.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for the decisions and stuff, but I'm not single.
Yeah.
Know? So I think we all, like, came to an agreement or understanding, and it's just now there's an open line of communication. And
wonderful. Yeah.
if she decides to overstep again, I mean, hey, it's a
You
learning
just
process,
remind her,
right?
yeah.
Just be like, hey, I thought we talked about this. What happened?
Yeah.
Instead of just blowing up on her or being resentful.
Right.
Right, what do you think about that?
Dude, I just went through the same thing. Yeah. Like, so Kevin has a habit of making decisions for us and, like, inviting people over, or like, oh, we're going to go here, or we're going to, like, here. And I'm like, and usually I would be passive and just be like, oh, okay. And inside I'd be like, I don't really want to go.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody for sure. Like, there are times where it happens, like, even your daughter's birthday party. I was like, he was like, oh, come out, Jenny's gonna be there. This is before we knew each other. I was like, I don't know. Like, he's like, oh, just come, and, like, it's an open bar, you can dance and stuff or whatever. You can bring Jenna. I was like, oh, okay, I can bring somebody. Yeah. And then I called Jenna up, and she's like, are you gonna go? Kevin invited me. I was like, I don't know, are you gonna go? I'll go if you go. Okay, let's go. And so, like, so there are still some moments like that where I'm, like, in a place of not wanting to do something, and he'll suggest it and be like, come on, you can do it. Like, or come on out, and you know, I'm telling everybody you're going to be here. I'm like, oh, okay. And that turned out magnificent because we're here, right? At the same time, there's other times where he'll make decisions, or just invite people, or just include me. And he used to do this a lot back in the day, where he had these nursing parties or something, or his friends, and I'm like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
For one, I was not very comfortable being with other people yet. I was still very, very, very introverted, like painfully introverted when we first started dating. And I didn't want to go, and I didn't want to interact, and I was a little antisocial, I guess. And he wanted to introduce me to people, and but I didn't want to do it. But he would just decide, oh, I told everybody you're going to be there. And I'm like, but I didn't even say yes. And I got used to that too. I got used to being passive. And I think one of the things that I said to you too, and it rings in my head a lot, which is like, I just follow. I just follow him. He just lets me know. It's his schedule. And so I've gotten very, very used to the KOV schedule because of the weddings and stuff, and like whatever's on his calendar is what happens. This past weekend, where I was telling him in the car, like, or how's everything going with the website? I'm like, yeah, everything's good. We're ready to receive orders. It's just a matter of shipping. We were in the car talking about this, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let Tony and Cindy know that if they could help me with the shipping stuff and decide all the stuff on the shipping and the packaging, like, then we're good to go. I feel that we can do our soft launch. And he's like, oh, okay, you can talk to them. I was like, yeah, I'll talk to them. And then before I knew it, you're texting me about coming over.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, at first I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like my passive self. And then I was like, I had time to like, just really, it irked me, and I didn't know why yet. It irked me, and I was like, wait a second, like, but why? Yeah. Like, they don't need to.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, do we really need to go?
I mean, it's not like I need to like look over their shoulder. Like, no, this is an equal partnership. They know what they need to do. They're smart. They can make decisions. Like, and I think that was his past self being like, to control, and make sure, and that I'm his right hand person to control. And not that he intended to, but I think that was just a habitual sort of behavior, and it manifested that way. So for sure, he didn't mean that. And I didn't mean to put that out either. And so I'm like, no, I'm gonna vlog today like a crap ton. And I want to just walk around in my underwear if I want to. So I want freedom, and I'm gonna put the music on really loud today. I'm gonna sing really loud today. Like, I want that for myself today. And so I was just like, what was this about again? Like, do you really have to come over? Like, where did this come from? And I wasn't super clear about my, you know what I mean? And then it was just coming to me as the texts were coming through. Oh, Kevin told us to come over or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's why. So then I start putting the pieces together, and I'm like, okay, so I need to be more clear about it. And he had already left and stuff. I was like, no, it's cool, you guys. Like, you don't have to come. We just have to do this, this, and this. Like, make it super clear. It's easier to communicate with you guys. And then the most important step was me texting Kevin, because he was already working, and saying, I hope you have a great wedding. So I opened with a very positive thing. In the future, please don't invite anybody over, without asking me first. And then, have a great day at wedding. I love you. And that was, I think, the most important part for me to communicate effectively with him. Stating forth how I want to be communicated to as your wife, and being compassionate and thoughtful about how you're going to receive what I'm saying to you. And then it worked. And I was like, cool. And then he's like, oh, okay, sorry about that. I love you. Thank you. Whatever. And I'm like, cool. I feel good. That like these little tiny things that can spark either direction. And I feel like I nailed that one. And I was like, yeah. So now it's like a nice little like positive reinforcement as to when little things that often can spark into shitty things. And it's your opportunity to just interrupt. And that's why I was like kind of stoked when you guys came through, because I knew that was a win. I was like, yeah, that was cool. That felt great. And then telling you guys too, like, because I didn't consult you or anything, and I didn't like text you about it or anything like that. And I was telling you, it was cool, like, to take what we've been learning together here on the Golden Rule and then execute it, and then not having to rely on you guys. I know that I can rely on you. You guys are there to support. If I need you guys are there, which is awesome. But then a realization that I made, which was, I have it within me too, to support me, to give myself support, like to be my number one supporter. And so that was cool.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Seriously, Meg. And
Yeah.
that makes me and Cindy. Well, I can't speak for Cindy, but that makes me feel you're a more genuine person
Mm.
because I no longer have to feel. Wait, if something is wrong, like when's Meg gonna tell me? You know, like I feel more
Mm.
comfortable and I know and trust that you will let me know right away
Yeah.
or let me know like at least the same day.
Yes.
You know, so I don't have to feel like I stepped on your toes or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like I respect you, Meg. Like I respect your life,
Thank
your
you.
boundaries. I
Mm.
respect Kevin's and his boundaries. And your marriage, you know? That's why it's kind of like it's cool because you respect yourself
Mm.
instead of just oh. And then when you come over, it's like I feel like shoot, you know, like, and I feel bad, like, do I have to come over? How's Meg gonna take it? You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, thank you for being thoughtful
you know what
enough
I
to
mean?
ask me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's the most important thing that
Yeah.
you started it with yourself. And I had to, I want to like digress to
Uh huh.
another thing, right? Or
Yeah.
like, okay,
I'm gonna take this off. I can't breathe. Okay.
in terms of a lot of married couples, right?
Oh. Uh huh.
In the beginning, during, especially with guys,
Uh huh.
a lot of guys, a
Mhm.
lot of the husbands, I had trouble saying no to my friends.
Oh yeah.
I would just always go to my friends or go to the people I was comfortable with, other than my wife.
Uh huh.
And like my wife was cool with it, you know, and all of a sudden she would blow up and I would still be like, why?
Hmm.
You know, I thought you're cool with it.
Hmm.
And then I realized that the relationship that you, me, Cindy, and Kevin have is very unique.
Yeah, it
But
is.
again, I think it's something that everyone can have, right?
Yes.
But it all comes from look, I respect your marriage. Before I didn't though. When it was like me and Kevin and you guys we just met, I
Mm-hmm.
started going out with him all the time. Like not even like I didn't respect you. Like I didn't even think about you. I just thought, all right, and even Cindy, I didn't even think about Cindy.
Mm.
So I was just like, all right, Kevin, yeah, let's go. Let's go. You know, it's good, it's for the betterment of the company, it's betterment or whatever, right? But it's like I was taking him away from you.
Mm. But he's
And
not mine. I mean.
no, but still, like as a wife, as a
Mm-hmm.
husband, you guys are yours first. Like as a friend or whatever, I'm last.
Mm.
I'm later priority, right? But how often does that happen where the husband doesn't even realize that, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Whoa," getting all mad at the wife because like you don't appreciate me, you don't support me. What are you talking about? You know, like
Yeah.
you said I could hang out. So it's like that shift of like, look, you're not. You got to tell your friends like, give boundaries to your friends.
Yes.
I believe that.
Yes.
And so even those who are closest to me in my life, I let Cindy know. I don't
Yeah.
feel like I'm being whipped or anything. I
Yeah.
just go, look, you're my wife. I want to get your input. I want to do this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And then she lets me know.
Yeah.
How do you feel and what do you think about when me and Kevin first started being friends?
Oh
to
yeah.
now? Like,
Okay.
what is the
So
difference?
the first time I was just like typical behavior because you're new.
Yeah.
You're the new thing. I'm like, meh, new. He's obsessed. He has an obsessive personality where I must have everything. I must have the best all the time. And then it goes away, you know? And I'm just like, I'm just waiting. Like, okay, it's cool. It's fine. It irks me too. Like if he just randomly, oh, we're going to go. Okay. But usually it doesn't bug me so much because I don't mind being by myself, but then it was being more and more like frequent, and like it was time away from us because otherwise it was just business stuff. And sometimes, or in the past, the only time that we hang out is like errands. And errands are just errands to me. But he thinks it's like, before it'd be like, oh, yay, we're going to Target at 11 p.m. because we need Q-tips and we get to walk around Target. Like, it still kind of is like that right now. And that's fine. But we still, to me, we still need to make separate days where it's not about getting errands or it's not about getting groceries. And just spend real quality time together, right? So that was being kind of threatened before when you first were coming into our lives. And I told you that, and I was like, but at the same time I was like, I see the bigger picture, which is somebody for Kevin to hang out with and do active things with while I'm still healing, because I will be that person. It's just taking me a little time. So I just thought it was great. And to me, he never hung out with his other guy friends from like high school and stuff, or even from work or something like that. And they just really didn't gel with him, because there was always this like other thing influencing how he's supposed to be with them. So it's like the old high school friend, they go back to old high school maybe habits or conversations. And I feel that doesn't challenge him. It doesn't interest him anymore. And the only thing that's there is nostalgia. And then other male friends are like in the industry, because we don't go out. We don't go out with friends, like super, super rare. Maybe twice or 3 times a year with friends, and not have it revolve around business. And it's always like a birthday or it's an event. It's never just like, let's chill. Yeah. It's never been like that. So I was like, oh, cool. Like they have an opportunity, or he has an opportunity to hang out with a male friend, somebody who's not me, because I feel like men need male camaraderie, just the same as women need women company and women speak and girl talk and all that stuff. And so I feel like, oh, the bigger picture is that's what he's getting. And I want him to have that, even though I didn't really figure out my feelings, which was like being jealous a little bit. And like, for one, like I can't work out. Jealous that I can't do the active things that somebody else can do with him. But I'm getting there. So that's how I felt in the beginning. Now it just makes me super happy. For one, we are all on the same level. We're on the same page. You guys are so open and considerate. The fact that you say those things in text, it's that, to me, that's the same action of writing me a note and saying, hey, I know. You know what I mean? Like you guys yesterday, cleaning the car, doing things together, hanging out. Like, I love that. You know, you're able to hang out and both be true, genuine friends with each other. And that was it. I didn't feel anything. I felt free. I was like, cool, I'm gonna do my thing, you do your thing, I'll see you when you get back. Panties be dropping. That's it. And then he told me he came back, and he came back early because I heard you were climbing and you're doing all kinds of things. I was like, oh yeah, Tony can't hang yet. And so imagine before, like when I was healthy, we just all day, man, all day. I can't keep up either, and I'm like beat.
I was like, how the hell did he keep going? Like, motherfucker has an Energizer bunny.
And he was like up, like, yeah, Tony couldn't really hang, but he was so tired, but he likes it. I was like, okay, cool. And next step for you is climbing outside if you continue to climb, and I'm gonna be there too. So, well, yeah. So I love it. I want him to be able to do different things with different people, like not just with me, because I want to have the same freedom, you know what I mean? So if I want to, I don't know, hang out with cousins or hang out with friends or whatever, like I just want to feel free to go do it. And then when I get back, I can tell you all about it. Cool. Because otherwise we're around each other so much, like you know everything. What do we talk about other than business, right? So you want something else, like he told me, like, I don't want to talk about business all the time. It's like, well, that's 99% of our life. So in order for us to get different things to talk about, you need to do different things, you know? And it's great that he can do that with you. I'm so thankful for it. And I know that every interaction with you guys together makes him a better person too. He's more inspired to take control of what he wants. And randomly, like when you came over that one day, I was like, you're like, oh, we're gonna go talk about whatever. I was like, okay.
Self-value,
Self-value,
self-worth.
that's right. And I was like, cool, I'm playing my game, you know what I mean? So I love it. It's and the communication is on point. That's what's most important.
Mm-hmm.
And
With you.
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, with me. It's super important. And just to check in how
Okay.
how small it is, you know. That little text or long one, whatever. It just signals to me that you are being considerate and you're being conscious versus I just you know, you left me out of the conversation. You know what I mean? Like you're having conversation. I'm right here.
Yeah.
Ask me or include me.
Yeah.
That's the most hurtful thing, I think, if you feel not included.
Mm.
Like I saw that in my parents too, is like where somebody be making a decision, somebody's not included. It's hurtful. Especially your wife, you know, like or your partner. If for them not to feel included in your decision making, even how like there's some things where I'm like because you've already established like you don't need to ask me. It's not like you need to ask me for every little decision that you make. You are your own person, but it's not asking, it's just considering.
Exactly.
That's all. That's what it is. So it's I think that's what's most important. And you've been very conscious and good about doing that because I will forget too. I will be in my passive self, but because you're like, oh, I just want to make sure. And you advocate for me, basically.
Yeah.
You're advocating for me. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. But then I'm like, oh, yeah, thank you. Like, I need to be conscious too about my own boundaries and make them clear. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, you're being a truer friend doing that. And I feel so much more freer and genuine, like you said, to let you guys know straight up. Today's my day.
Yeah.
I know you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you got. Like I did not fear telling you guys that. It was more of my own, why didn't I not say anything? That's weird. Let me dissect that for a quick 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then just tell you and not worry about what you guys are going to think about me. Because I already know you got my back, like you understand. And I'm like, but then when I see the cool, or like, I'm like, cool. You know, the extra validation is like the bow on top. Cool. If you didn't say anything, then I'd be like, did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
But I love how you're branching out into other areas of your life with setting your boundaries and doing you and filling yourself up and like giving to others genuinely, not out of guilt, out of obligation.
Obligation,
it's like,
yeah.
You want to.
I want to, yeah.
So I'm proud of you and I'm happy that you're doing that because I know it's going to reflect, okay, started in your marriage. Now it's going to friends, and now it's going to be in business. You know, whether it's going to be KLV, Super Jewelry Co, wherever. I know that with your family, your parents, like your boundaries will constantly be set, so that your life isn't just I'm following someone, or it's just going with the flow. It's just, no, yes. So I'm really happy for you.
Yes, being decisive.
Yeah.
And I feel like. Since I began the journey of, for example, vlogging, where I had to be consciously talking about this stuff and then looking at it and editing it and stuff, feeling that wallflower feeling of like, I'm just here, like, just take me. And before, this is something I would talk about in my vlogs, which was like, I was so dispassionate in high school. Like, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't even care that I don't even know what I want to do. Does that mean I'm going to die early? And I would think that like hardcore, like something's probably going to happen to me where like, that's why I don't feel passionate about anything. And I was like, whoa. And then, after I started to consciously be aware and be like, oh, this is what I want. Oh, this is what I want. This, and then like, you know, this thing of uncovering, like it's always been there, I think. And then you're like, oh yeah, that's been there. And then, oh, that's been there. And you just like wipe away all this crap that you put there for some reason. And you're like, oh, oh yeah, I want to do that, and then just do it. And so that's kind of how it feels. It's like I'm uncovering these things that have always been there, like wanting to experiment with makeup, wanting to talk about this, wanting to talk about marriage and relationships and everything. And because I gave myself permission, opportunities come into my life for it to happen. Like, that's crazy. Like, even this show, I always wanted to talk in this way, in this true, genuine way. I always wanted to be real. And for like how many years that I've been making videos, there's a weird persona that comes out that it's me, but it's a little bit turned on because it's maybe because it's a different like interaction, because I'm talking to a human being now versus talking to a camera. So but I've always wanted to be real, and now this opportunity came, and now we're doing it, and it's crazy cool. I don't know, you know what I mean?
I honestly think if we look back on the first video that we made from the Golden Rule,
Yeah.
I think it's completely different.
Yeah.
Because like even then we were working on ourselves, finding our true selves, right? But now that it's gone to this level, like it's here, you know, like yeah, there may be people watching, there may be not, but it doesn't matter. It's just you are you,
Yes.
and I am me.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
really
there's a
powerful.
big change in you.
Yeah.
So before, there would be this thing always kind of like on your shoulder that you were talking to the audience and making the content for the audience.
Yeah.
And I know that feeling so well, and that's why I get so excited when we talk about you starting your own channel and making content for yourself, and I'm very excited for you. But at the same time, I don't want to impose anything on your journey, and it's going to happen.
Sure.
It's going to happen however it's going to happen. And I remember it took me, like I told you, 6 months to actually hit record after I bought all my shit. I was like, I know it's there. I see you.
I mean, 5 months and 29 days.
Yeah. So like, but I see the big change in you, and even the way that you would talk about the Golden Rule has dramatically changed, and how it is just for you to be here, to be present, and not worry about all these other factors that don't really matter. And it reinforces how I feel too about the Golden Rule. There were times where I would feel pressured too to be on this show. I'm like, do I have to? Yeah. I'm like, I don't feel. And then I'm like, but I know it's gonna be good for me. But I'm not in the place mentally.
That's the one time you have to do it.
Yeah, I'm not in the place mentally or whatever. And like, I love that yeah, there's no pressure. There's freedom. It's our schedule. There's no script. The only thing that we say the same is the Golden Rule in the beginning and the end in our names, like, and it's just so free form. Yeah. And we do the work here, and then I move on with whatever life is happening on that day. And I don't let it I don't let it take up space in my brain. Like before when I had to edit it and all that stuff, and now I just hit publish. It's the freaking greatest thing ever. Like, I always wanted to play with that too before I met you, like years ago. Oh, there's a live feature. And I know they're pushing creators to like, you know, experiment with it, but it like scared me too. Like, who am I gonna be live without editing, without my persona? That's something I want to see with you too. There's gonna be the difference. Like, it's great that you've had this experience to be live first, to be true first, versus when I first started, it was like I was seeing all of these influencers and being influenced to be somebody that I'm not.
Oh, you were trying to be like them?
Sometimes.
Okay.
There were times where I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm being me. And then numbers and likes and views and comments would sway me. And it's so hard to fight that influence if they like something or not. And like the moment I didn't wear makeup, or when I wore a hat, or if I wore certain things, and the comments would make me choose outfits, choose the way that I present myself based on that past knowledge. Even though even though they were good or bad or whatever, or I've never got anything really bad, but thankfully.
Yeah, serious.
But I would let it influence my decisions. Where now, because my cup is full, it's what I choose. And like,
yeah,
I think when I first started making videos, that's what I thought I was doing. And you get kind of like, it's hard to tell sometimes, like, is this me or is this the YouTube me?
yeah.
Is this the personal brand me? That would fuck with my head a lot. Like, oh, I'm doing it for the branding.
Even that,
you know,
I'm doing it for the personal brand.
Yeah.
That's still not you.
Yeah. Right. Now I'm like, I feel like I'm still in it because I have a personal brand, which is like whatever. I don't feel that I need to be on any ladder or comparison to anybody, but no matter what, it just naturally is that way because you have a profile on social media and you put out content to the public. That is a personal brand, whether you're aware of it or not. People who always post about their dogs or whatever, like that's your thing. Cool. So I want to always be like, check myself when I'm, and be conscious about what I'm posting and where it's coming from now. And I don't know, it's just interesting, but I'm super interested to see what happens with you wherever your journey goes.
Well, I'm gonna try to take your visa advice, which is like, all right, just post, right? Don't even look at shit for like 3 years. But that's fucking hard, you know what I mean?
I know, dude.
I do care, I'm like, I want to see if someone's freaking like commenting.
I check my stats every day.
What's wrong with that shit? I'm like,
nothing's wrong with it.
I just want to see.
I just want to see. I don't think anything's wrong with it.
No.
It's when you look at it and it bothers you or it irks you or you can't stop thinking about it. Yeah.
I have to be a dumbass to get like 100 more views.
Right.
It's like, no.
Right. No. Or I don't know. With girls, like I think it's a lot more like physical and not going to speak for girls. For me, it just it can be a lot more physical. Like I do think about doing my eyebrows when I press record and when I make vlogs, but I want to make the decision and be like, this is how I want to present myself. That is my choice. Not because I'm going to look prettier to others on camera. And making that freaking distinction for me. Yeah. Whereas before is like, let me put on a bunch of makeup so that I get more views. Like subconsciously, I wouldn't consciously say that to myself, but you're like, you just spend a little bit longer in the makeup chair for some reason. Oh, it's because you got some comments that like the way you look. No. And now you're positively reinforced to go put on more makeup. Yeah. Silly. So now it's just like, if I feel it and I want to play or if I want to wear this or whatever, like, then I'm going to do it for me.
Do it for you.
Yes. And that's how I want to, that's what I would say to you too. Yeah. As you begin your journey, just for you. 100% for you. 10 likes, 0 likes, 10 million likes for you. For me. Yes.
Yeah. Because I think, honestly, like before we close out and stuff, but I don't know if you want to close, but I think that's the whole thing. The attraction is just as you do things for you, you attract other people that want to do things for themselves instead of wanting to do things because of other people. And so I think there's a lot of courage. There's a lot of just being genuine and sincere. That is attractive,
I think so too. And
being
people
able to be you.
People sense it. I even see it like in the way that Kevin presents himself on camera. I edited like 10 seconds of him and put it because I worked so hard on this KLV stuff. And so I just and I made a note of it. I told him, I was like, oh, you're so much better on camera. I feel your sincerity. I feel your working hard. I feel your passion. And you weren't timid, because I went to go find some clips of him and so many were unusable because I feel his timidness. And then this latest video that I recorded at a wedding not too long ago, and I was looking back at it and just listening to what he was saying and editing it and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is a big difference right here. And it's a testament to the fact that being yourself, exactly the way you are, is what people want to see, which is great. Because for one, you're not doing it for them, but just know, like, if that's something that you were worried about, like, you don't need to. You know what I mean? Like, you can truly be you. And you'll probably have to I have to keep telling myself that all the time and reminding others as well. Like, you can be you. It is safe to be you. And you're like, oh, really? and then 10 years later, oh, really? Like, you keep having this revelation, like reminding yourself, like, oh yeah, cool, I can be me. Oh, okay, yeah, cool, I can be me. I can be me.
Yeah, why can't you be you?
Oh yeah, I can be me. Like, you remember again, like, because you often can forget from all of these outside things that will come in and try to mess with you, and impose upon you. And you have to remind yourself, oh yeah.
But babe, think about that for a second, right? Why is it that we want to attract so much of the outside influences, right? And as I think is because before, maybe your cup wasn't that full.
Yeah.
You
need
needed
something
or wanted other people, other comments, other views to fill it up for you.
interesting. Yes.
Now that you're like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm full.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. That's the reason why I believe your vlogs are gonna change. Everything that you do on camera, it's just who you are. It's just now documenting who you really are because you're full. Your self-value is clear.
That is deep because, I was thinking about that too, and I didn't pinpoint it like you just did, which is your cup is full, and now it's showing in your vlogs. And when I would make content for Bells, and I look at my face, and I think I'm doing it well in that moment, and I look fucking mad. I look mad, like I barely smile, like I'm frustrated, it looks like, or it looks like I'm fucking here doing this fucking video, like I hate it or something. Like when I went go look at I'm like looking back at all my shit, I'm like, whoa, I look mean. How did I book anybody? But I did. But like, oh, like, whoa, it looks stern as fuck. So I get now why my team is always like, you're stern. And when I made these videos this past weekend, the time that you guys came, like I was like happy, full of energy, full of positive vibes, and I felt warmer, and I looked warmer, and I looked friendlier. Somebody who would actually,
you're like hella confident too,
Yeah, that's how I felt, and that's cool. That's very true. Good point. Okay, so thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Meg.
What's our affirmation for today?
I don't know. What is your affirmation for today?
I'm keeping it real, keeping it consistent every day in every way. I'm getting better and better and better at becoming a strong, loving, confident, flexible, mobile,
keep going.
Smart, smart woman that I want to be.
Ooh, smart woman. Oh,
smart. I added that one this morning because
you said woman, not wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's you right now.
I was thinking about you, and you were like doing it for you, and I was like, why'd I put wife in there? That's because maybe I'm still looking for validation and stuff. I was like, fuck that. I know I can be a great wife, but I need to be a great woman first. Yeah.
That's for you right there.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's cool that you made note of it, because I made note of it too.
Course.
Yeah.
Like, and you got longer and longer, like who you want to. Oh, anyway.
I'm being inspired.
Shit,
let's go. Oh, how many are you gonna say? Go, Tony, go.
Right? So every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and better at being a selfless, generous, thoughtful, considerate, patient, kind, and respectable and valuable man.
Nailed it. Love it. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to The Golden Rule. Once again, my name is Meg.
My name is Tony.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Perfect.